Good evening and welcome to the FiTT Show. Financial information for today and tomorrow. I'm Bobby P. Kinzer.
And I'm Thomas Doty.
And we are the FiTT Show. Financial information for today and tomorrow. We're here every week, every Thursday at 8 p.m. around the country and around the world. We thank you for joining us this wonderful day. Had a hiatus last week. I was on travel, so could not be on the show, but welcome back to our show where we try to provide as much financial education that we can to help you to build wealth and hopefully even generational wealth. Got a few things that we like to get out the way. First of all, I'd like for you to click on the like button. That always helps us to reach more people. And then we'd like for you to place comments in the comment box should you have an opinion on anything we're talking about, or if you have a question or even a topic that you'd like for us to cover at another date. If there's something related to the show, we try to address it right here and now. But if it's something that is not related, we'll get back to you and another show with that information. But we really appreciate if you use those mediums, the comment box, and click on the like and even the heart button. That really helps us tremendously. Thomas Doty, how have you been?
Happy to be alive, my brother. You doing okay?
Man, I'm okay because I'm happy you're alive. So great. I was down there and I visited you, which was such a great, man. Charlotte is such a awesome city, man. Oh my God, so much to do, so many great food places to eat. Oh my
You
goodness.
know I'm a fine nose.
Oh, you definitely did that, and man, you provided us some serious grub, man. I'm still elevated over that kind of food down there, and it's just nothing like good old homegrown down south cooking. So, hey, dope.
Yes, sir.
It's been 2 weeks since we be on, and the last show was beef frugal, not cheap, and we hope that was your theme. That's your theme song, and we hope it was helpful for some people, and I hope it provides some needed information because there is a difference. But this week, our title is "Plan to Build Wealth." This is really a key subject because a lot is going on, a lot of uncertainties in the market, a lot of things going on with the economy, the administration, and then just people's personal lives. So it's even more important that we focus on having a process, having a method to keep you on track. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But before we get into that, it's been 2 weeks since we've seen a stock market update. And Dote, I mean, you just not have been providing us with some wonderful information about the stock market. We're hoping that you you got to hit at least get us on first base. So tell us what's going on with the market this week.
Man, I wish I knew. It's been really crazy these last couple of weeks. And you got the chart up?
Not yet.
And
hold on. It'll be has a mind of its own today.
Are we working today?
Yeah, we're working, but there's something else going on today. But hold on. I got to work around, and we're going to make this work. Hold on, Dote. We're going to set this up. I know how to mess with technologies now. I think it's going to hold me back. You see it, Dope?
Look at you.
Bam.
I'm proud of you, good brother.
I'm shocking myself.
You said you were going to make it work. It is a crazy 2 weeks between oil, the war, and possibilities of inflation. So you can see the market's been on a run the last week. The S&P is actually up 7%. It's favorable year to date. It's at all-time highs. NASDAQ was up 10%. And my stalwart Microsoft. I mean, it's kind of crazy because if you look year to year, it's doing okay. But what that doesn't tell you is that it last year it got up as high as almost 540. Now, you see, last week it was 373, and people are back on the bandwagon again, and it jumped to 420. And I was glad to see that because I that's one of my main holdings. But I actually bought some more when it dropped, so I was very happy to see the turnaround. Apple got a bump of 7 points. Nvidia is up almost 12%. Google's up 13%. Uh, Pfizer dropped a buck. That's not really an issue, and my Boston Scientific didn't change. But there's just so much uncertainty, and you got this war, and the stock market's reacting to every time there's talk of a settlement or a treaty or a ceasefire, the market takes off. And I, for one, I am not bullish on the market. I'm not selling anything right now because I'm a believer in letting it ride and fighting through the ups and downs. But if I mean, shoot, everything's going up, and inflation's going to be rampant, fueled by gas, and gas affects so many things. If you try to buy an airline ticket, you know what I mean by that. And so, and what happens in these times from a business perspective, companies look at it as a good time to raise prices because people are expecting prices to be higher. So if you're deciding what your prices could be right now, even if you don't have a big gas, you use gas as a raw material in your business, you see it as an opportunity to raise prices because it's not surprising people when they see higher prices. So you wonder how many of these price increases are legitimate and how many of them are just people gouging. But I'm expecting inflation to come back. I don't know when this war is going in. And so I'm still a little bullish. I'm happy to see everything's going up, but I'm just not confident in what's going to happen the rest of this year.
Wow. Yeah. There's a lot going on out there, though. But inflation is up over 3% now, though. So inflation is creeping up there.
It's funny, Bob. You say inflation is going up, but I mean, I'm not sure you can name anything that's not going up. And that's the crazy part. When you look at what's causing stuff to go up, and a lot of it's gas, and a lot of it is just the market doesn't like uncertainty, and so you look. Everybody knows gas is going up. That's a given, but everybody's health insurance is going up this year. That's another big hit, and you wonder how much a company's going to cover. The Medicare is going to go up. Your utility bill is going to be a lot higher this year. Of course, when you go to the grocery store, everything's going up. I don't know if anybody's renewed their auto or home insurance policies. They've gone up a great amount. I think my auto went up maybe 8%, and I'm not sure what my home went up. I don't buy a lot of clothes, but from what I've read, clothes have gone up. There's a shortage of chips, of the chips that are used in smartphones and computers. So you can expect those prices to go up whenever there's a shortage. Everybody knows jewelry's going up because Bob's going to talk about how much gold has increased, gold and silver. So jewelry is way more expensive. If you try to ship anything, that's going up. Again, that's a gas related item. So inflation it's here. I don't know where they're getting that 3%. It seems like it's more to me. When I look at everything I see going up, I don't know how it's only 3%.
Well, there's isn't it? It's two kind of calculations, right? I think one is calculated without gas and oil and something else. So that's what I think also makes a difference how they report it, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, everything's going up. So this what better time to be planning for your wealth than now because if you don't have a plan, trust me, they got a plan for you. And you don't want to be in their plan. You want to be using your plan. That's for sure. So dope, yeah. Gold is back up to $4,817 an ounce. So, like you said, gold is going up, and silver is even going up. But the word on the street is silver is ready to take off because a lot of sovereign countries, I think I mentioned this before, are buying up silver and gold actually, and they're talking about some countries in their country putting a moratorium on selling silver. So they buying up all the silver now, and silver is in all the cell phones, the semiconductors, and all these data centers that they're building for AI and the data centers, I mean, not the data centers, the cryptocurrency centers that they build to be able to process cryptocurrency, just going to cause silver to go up. So I'm keeping an eye on silver, got some silver. And though I just want to mention about Microsoft. It's interesting. It's up 12.6%, but it's down 13%. Is that compared to last year?
That's year to date.
It's year to date, right?
Yeah, I mentioned it was up. It was up over 540. So by the end of the year, it says it right there. It was 484. So it's 13% down year
Right.
to date.
Yeah, to date. Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Just from January to now.
Yeah,
Wow.
but if you look versus like I want to say it was like last June, July, when it was up in the 500s and it was rolling. But then everybody kind of got AI scared, and that's starting to go away because they're going to announce earnings soon, and they must be leaking the fact that their earnings are going to be gangbusters in the area that they were weak in as far as cloud and that kind of thing. I think that's going to be a lot better than it was when they presented numbers before. So
did they have some legal issues or something that made it go down?
No, theirs was all AI anxiety because they were spending $1 gazillion and nobody was seeing the revenue related to that $1 gazillion that are being spent.
Right.
And so a lot of the tech stocks took a hit. But again, they're getting ready to announce earnings, and I think that's going to kind of change things for Microsoft. And we'll get back to where it was because all of the earnings estimates or the price estimates of where the stock should go, they're all at least 500. So we'll see what happens.
So let's talk about the cryptocurrency market, which is taking off, dope. 2 weeks ago, this was 2 weeks when we last looked at it. Cryptocurrency was at not cryptocurrency, Bitcoin was at $66,934. It is up $8,200, up 12% to 75,134. That was earlier today. It's priced 24 hours, but this was around about 5 o'clock. So, yeah, I mean, if you look down the line, all of them up. Ethereum is up 14%. Ripple is up 10%. Binance is up 8%. The stable coins, one went up and one went down by a penny. Tether went up, but then USDC stable coin went down by 1 penny. So, as we always say, it's all about the long play. But wow, man, the cryptocurrency market it's so volatile, man. One day you're looking great and you're happy. The next day you like biting your nails. But that's the state of cryptocurrency.
And I bought some more in my Roth again this year, Bob.
Oh, you did? Into the IRA Roth?
Into the Roth, yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting. You start calling you got to know when to hold them. Know when to fold. Yeah, good, you gambling man. But hey, it's been paying off though.
Yeah.
You've been on a roll though, man. I gotta admit.
Okay.
So dope.
Yes, sir.
Let's get into today's show about plan to build wealth. What are we talking about?
Yeah, well, I don't think you need a PhD in logic to understand that people who have a plan, a clear plan of what they're trying to do, outperform people who don't have a plan. I mean, that's shouldn't surprise you. But if you have a documented investment plan that clearly lays out what your goals are, has in there your accepted level of risk, and it's based on your personal values, that's going to help you stay the course. That's going to help you stay on a path, not to get rattled when things get crazy. It's going to keep you from making purchases that you don't need to make. It's just going to keep you on a clear course for building wealth. And if you look at how the big institutions that manage money, the hedge funds, endowments, investment companies, they what they do affects everything in the market. And they got the resources to have people really focus on what they're doing. But the clear thing is they all have a plan. They all have a clear sense of purpose. As an individual, you have to do the same thing. If you're using a financial advisor, you have to keep in touch with him to make sure anything that changes in your plan is updated. And if you don't have a financial advisor, you have to make sure as things change in your life that you update those and that you're thinking 1 year down the road, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road. But the most important thing is to have a clear plan of what you plan to do financially.
Though, what I find out, and we mentioned this so many times, but we mention it because it's important, about having a process. And having a process means having a plan. And I notice a lot of people, they talk about it, but they don't really put it down on paper. And one of the most ways for your plans to come through, they said, it's a percentage, something like 70% of people who write it down actually follow through. And I think a lot of people, still don't write their goals and even their needs down to clarify them, to help them, put a plan together, and they need to look at, set objective guidelines for risk and provide a gut check when uncertainty in the market shakes your confidence. Now, thinking through and documenting your intentions before sitting down, sometimes, not just with yourself, but with a financial consultant can help you sort through the decisions and trade-offs required to draft a plan and make it a lot easier for you and more productive, so that you can have more productive discussions about your wealth. We can't say it enough, and I talked to some people to follow up on them about action plans, and a lot of people who are on this show to be listening, they are retired, and they think that they're too late. It's never too late, and we're living longer. But even more so, if you're retired, you need to put a plan in place to help keep you the course, whether you're trying to, protect your wealth or you're trying to build your wealth.
Yeah, and let's talk about where you start. Okay, the first thing you got to do, you got to be clear about what motivates you. That's the best place to start. And I got to be honest, when I first started off working, my only objective was to make money. Okay, that was make lots of money. That was the goal. But that won't lead you down the right path, because you got to start thinking a little more specific than that. You got to pay for college. You got to get money for retirement. You got to have money for your family and kids to do things that they want to do. You want to think about how to have a debt-free education for your kids. If you're involved in a church, you want to think about how you want to help help your church out, and the things that inspire you, those things need to be articulated so you can know where you're going and get on the path to what you're trying to do. Now, to support that statement, you got to have a narrative about how you're going to earn your wealth, what sacrifices are required. It's going to be hard work, right? And all those things can, again, kind of encapsulate what you're trying to do. And this will give you context. If you're dealing with a financial professional, he can have the wherewithal to help you decide that you're going in the right direction. And it'll also remind you of your own responsibility, as I said before, to help you keep on track and maybe not buying some of the things or not spending money that's outside of what your plan and what your goals are. And that can only help you if you lay out everything that you're trying to do. Then you have goals, and then that can keep you from maybe doing some things that you probably wouldn't need to do. Okay. And so that's the most important. Figure out what you're trying to do and then how you're going to do it.
Hey, what motivates you, man, is important, man. Your values is important.
And it can't just be make money. That's too broad, and it's not really definable, because what they say about if you're chasing money, you'll never have enough because there's
because money is numbers, and numbers are endless.
Exactly.
So, I mean, now I want to talk about, your investment objectives. And you need to identify your top priority when investing. And that comes down to identifying your long-term goals versus your short-term needs. Meaning, are you seeking to grow your portfolio to generate income so you can protect your assets? Are you trying to grow your portfolio so that you can, build your wealth? There is a difference between protecting your assets and growing your assets. One is you're taking a safe position. The other one, you take a little bit more risk and you're trying to grow it. But like Doe said, you got to get specific. What is the reason behind, your investment objective? Perhaps you are prioritizing growth because you want to support a long-term, philanthropic legacy that has the means to support your favorite cause, well into the future. Or maybe income generation is important to you because you are concerned about being able to maintain the current lifestyle throughout your retirement, and you're looking to gain peace of mind, that comes with a steady flow of cash. Whatever you're thinking, you must be clearly articulating your objectives, an important step in devising a goal-based investment strategy, and especially to withstand the volatility, which a lot of times is short-term. When I mean short-term, I'm talking about 6 months to a year. It's really some of the longest downturns, believe it or not. Now, while much of this, exercise I'm talking about in defining your objectives, it's important not to overlook the here and now, especially when it comes to your spending. You should understand your spending needs and think about the difference between your essential spending and your more aspirational or discretionary spending. Now, this will help you, in your spending. If you create like we always talk about, a process, which is also known as a spending plan, and, calculate how much you can draw from your portfolio, without undermining its potential, and without eroding its principles. Okay. And I know you want to be able to do other things, but it's so important to really, really focus on your long-term versus your short-term goals. And it is so important to develop a comprehensive figure that factors in your assumptions on taxes and other considerations.
Yeah, let's talk for a minute about risk. Okay. All investing involves risk, but how much risk you're willing to take, that's going to depend on your own specific circumstance. Okay. you have to figure that out for yourself. I can't use Bob's risks. He can't use mine. We would both be unhappy with each other's risk. He's much more conservative than I am. But again, his situation is different. Okay. And so, a couple of ways to look at it. You can ask yourself, how much of a loss could you handle before you felt like you were in danger of not reaching your goals? Okay. That's one way of saying, okay, how much risk can I take? That's kind of will help you put a dollar on it. And also, you might want to look at how much of a loss do you think you could tolerate before you end up making a snap decision that you might later regret. And again, put a number down on paper to figure out what that amount is. And this will help you balance your ability to make money and will allow you to take on risk in your portfolio. Because we always joke about, we don't really joke, we always say no risk it, no biscuit. And all we mean by that is you have to take some risk to get higher returns, okay? But it's got to be a level that you're comfortable with, because you don't want to be going to bed, can't sleep because you're worried about the market going down. So you have to come up with a measure of how much risk you're willing to take and then put that into your portfolio, okay? But if you have a clear sense of your goals, your intentions and concerns, then you can devise a plan that's going to give you an appropriate asset allocation, and it's going to help you decide which asset class you're comfortable putting money in that's going to best suit your objectives and your risk tolerance. But you can't be expecting to make, 12%, 15% a year and not take any risk. And by the same token, you can't sleep well at night if you're taking all kind of crazy risk. So you have that continuum of no risk, crazy risk. You got to find where you're comfortable. And again, if you have your plan and you have it laid out, your risk tolerance helps you determine what you invest in.
What's so interesting about risk, though, they have this term called loss aversion. People are more concerned about how much they're going to lose than how much they can build in wealth. It's so interesting, that's how human nature works. But you just can't sit on the sideline. If you really, really have some goals that you need to make, you got to take some risk. And we're not talking about risk the house and sell the farm. We're not talking about anything like that. We're just talking about taking like a moderate risk so that you can get a better return.
And there's a cost to not taking any risk. Okay, there's a cost to that,
Yeah.
and that's inflation, and that's losing purchasing power. That's taking you backwards. That's not building wealth if you're not taking any risk.
Yes, and I can't stress it enough for the people who are further down the road, who are close to retirement or in retirement. It is never too late to set up an investment plan to build wealth. I want to talk a little bit about, keeping your plan up to date. Ultimately, what you've put together, once you have this investment plan, it's not a legal document or a contract. So it's not like you bind by it. So sometimes we do it and put it in the drawer and don't even look back at it. When I was doing being an investment advisor and doing financial planning, I would do people's financial plans and they would pay for it. And I would check back with them in a year or two. And it just was sitting in the drawer growing dust. So, if you don't apply what you put down to work, it's only effective if you commit to abiding by it. It's important to review your plan regularly, hopefully at least quarterly or at the least semi-annually, to ensure your investment performance is satisfactory and your allocations are still appropriate based on what you laid out in the document. It's also an important to understand the opportunity to review whether your objectives and needs have remained the same, because circumstances happens, as we say, stuff happens, and you need to update your plan according to. Certain life situations might require a shift in your strategy, or perhaps this, you've discovered that you have a need to spend more than you thought to take care of, let's say, a loved one, or maybe you're getting closer to your goals, right? And you have money earmarked for those goals, but now you could be running short on cash flow. So you need to might look to see to readjust your cash flow. That's why it's important to review your information. And it's even more important if you got help, like from a financial consultant, just to make sure that, you're staying up to date on the financial alternatives and opportunities that you have, and making sure you're standing on top of your, your family circumstances. Now, as you begin to write out your plan, you may find it difficult to answer some of the key questions about your goals and especially your intentions. While you may find, this discouraging, it's not a reason for you to panic or abandon your effort. Matter of fact, it's time for you to get a little bit more serious thought into your investment strategy. Because like I said before, it's never too late.
Yeah, well, okay. Now we're going to give you some of the how-tos, okay? Because you got to get clarity around your investing. So we're going to give you some things you should ask yourself and be honest and take some time to do this to get on the right path. And the first thing is why are you investing? And what's your purpose? What are you trying to do? Okay? What are you trying to accomplish? That's going to drive your plan when you think about why are you investing? That's the first question you got to ask yourself. What's the purpose? And again, you can't be generic and say just to make money. It has to be specific. To make money for what? What are you trying to accomplish?
The next question is, who are you investing for? Is it for yourself? Is it for your wife? Is it for your kids? Is it for your grandkids? Or is it for a philanthropic goal that you have? That's so important. Who are you investing for? Because that determines your risks, your time horizon, and everything.
Next question is, what do you worry about financially? Get your arms around what keeps you awake at night, what things bother you. That's, again, going to drive where you put your money.
I said this a little earlier. Do you anticipate any specific needs or challenges, such as having to care for a loved one, your mother, your mother-in-law, a grandparent, or a disabled child? You need to really look at and try to anticipate those specific challenges.
Yeah. Okay. How did you and your family build your wealth? What kind of things did you do that worked? And you can look back on and see what things worked well for you, what things didn't work well for you or your family. What you learn from those things? What can you do different? That's going to, again, keep you pointed on building wealth.
Next, what did you learn about investing from your parents? How does that inform how you approach investing today? And you would say, what does that have to do about me? It has a lot, because if your parents wasn't good budgeting people, if they were big spenders and they didn't invest, chances are you might have that same behavior. And you need to just think about that. And, how did that approach affect you today? Because, like I said, a lot of our behaviors come from pattern from our parents.
And another thing you need to think about is, how did you react when volatility happened in the market or the stock started declining? And then look back what you did. Did you do Did you overreact? Did you uh, make good decisions? And if your goal was to let it ride, did you let it ride? Look back on that to see how you're going to react the next time it happens, and look and see if you did the things that are keeping you on the right path.
What are your sources of income? Do you expect them to change? Now, there's a little formula that actually helps you to build wealth. And if you have three basic income streams, they used to call it the three-legged stool, right? Theory. If you had a pension, a 401k plan, and Social Security, you're pretty much set on your way to being able to build some wealth. But nowadays, people don't have a pension, so that's usually just two legs. So you need to think about some other ways of, generating sources of income, and kind of think ahead. Do you expect that income to change? Because that can slow you down in reaching some of those financial goals.
And as always, you got to look at how much you're spending. You got to ask yourself those tough questions. How much is what you're spending essential? Are there things that you can cut back on? Are there things coming up in the future that you need to make a part of what your spending is going to be? We always beat on you about budgeting, but you got to know how your money, Bob just talked about sources, how money is coming in, but you also have to understand how your money is going out, and make sure that money going out is going to allow you to reach your goals.
Yeah, that's pretty key though, because I came up, my mother raised seven of us, and she really didn't teach me anything about investing, because she was trying to, live paycheck to paycheck. And matter of fact, I didn't learn too many skills about savings because she was so busy trying to make ends meet, you know what I mean, that I didn't learn some of those basic principles. So the impact of your parents can make a difference. But Mom Edie was something with a dollar, though. Boy, I ain't never seen a woman stretch a dollar like she did. She squeezed the dollar so hard George Washington started crying.
Yeah, and by that's an excuse we had because we didn't know better, and we didn't have the sources to find out a way to do better. But now there's so much information out there to help you do things the right way. But most people just don't take the time. They don't have the discipline to take the time, come up with a plan, stick to it, and meet their goals. It's as simple as that. Not knowing is not an excuse anymore. There's just too many ways to get information. It's too easy to find now. The information is too easy to find now.
Yeah. So, Doe, once again, we laid out a lot of information, and we like to summarize what we talked about to bring it home. So let's go to the summary and takeaways. Let's hope. My fingers crossed.
I got confidence in you now, brother.
Good stuff.
I'll bring you some of those cookies if I ever come.
Oh, please. Oh, Dope, them things were so good. Oh, man. I tried to just nibble on it to make it last longer.
Only you would say something like that.
All right, Dope. So, one of the things we want to talk about in the summary and takeaways that we talked about, is understand what motivates you. It's so important to identify those things because people do what's important to them, and what your values are. Those are things that motivate. Is it your kids? Is it some kind of charity that you have? Whatever it is, your grandchildren. Please identify and understand those things that motivate you, because those are things that generate the momentum to keep going.
Yeah, establish your plan. That's got to be one of the most boring, non-sexy things that nobody wants to do. But you have to know where you're going. You gotta. It's just too many positive things that having a plan will drive if you take the time to do it. Establish your plan. Figure out where you're going or where you want to go.
Risk varies by person to person. Everybody's risk is different. There's different risks for different folks. Like I say, different strokes for different folks. Remind me, who was that? So on and so on. Oh, Sly and the Family Stones. So yeah, but it is true. All seriousness, everybody's risk is different. Like me and Dope, we talk about all the time. His risk is greater than mine, but that's why he's my big brother. He takes greater risks.
You spoke in college too.
I know. But it serves you all. You got to know your risk tolerance and don't let anyone else determine your risk tolerance because nobody can tell you what makes you sleep at night, what keeps you up at night, but you.
Yeah, and you got to update and revise as necessary. This isn't a thing where you set it and forget it, right? This isn't that. This takes constant monitoring, constant adjusting. Things change in your life. Things change in the market. Your income stream can change. So many things that happen that require adjustments to keep you on track for where you're trying to go.
And this next one actually, I love this young person version of it, but this actually comes from Doe himself. Failure to plan is planning to fail. We couldn't put it more simpler than that, you all. You got to take the time. I know sometimes it's painstaking to ask those questions, those tough questions of yourself, but failure to plan is definitely failure to plan is planning to fail. You got to take the time. You got to do the research and you got to put the effort in. And there's an old saying in basketball, we say, hard work beat talent that doesn't work hard. It's no shortcuts to building wealth, you all, and we all can do it. Doesn't matter what nationality, what political party you are, or any of that. It's all about you just taking the time and really getting the information and applying it. We can't talk about that enough. So, with that, though, that brings me to our wonderful like to give a shout out to everybody who's on. And we look, by the way, you all, we do not take this lightly that you be on. This is our 236th show, 4 years running. And we couldn't be here if it wasn't for you, right? So we like to thank you. Joanne Skinner, we love you. My little brother, Carl Chapman, who's the head trustee, one of the head trustees down there at that wonderful church in Northwest Washington, D.C. Kitty Cheney. And look, Kitty keep us up to date, though, on our African-American heritage. She said, Happy D.C. Emancipation Day. Wow, that's right. I forgot about that, Kitty. Emancipation Day for the people in D.C. And without a doubt, my three sisters, Linda Sy, Nolia Milton, and Gloria Browner. They are the most wonderful sisters, though, in the whole wide world. I wouldn't trade them for nothing in the world, no matter how much they talk about me, no matter how. No. I love them to death. No, they don't talk about me that much. I love them to death. I love you all, man. Oh, God, man. I'm about to cry up here, dope. I'm like that Indian on the commercial with the Coke can on the ground. Got the tear in my eye. I ain't lying. Modestine. What's up, Modestine? So glad to see you, dearest. And the wonderful, wonderful now it was Dodie. I love saying that whole name. Thank you all. Did I miss anybody? I don't think I missed anybody. Yeah, welcome. People who just came on board from overseas. Thank you. I know it's late to where you are, so we really appreciate you all. So, Dope, as we always do, I'm gonna close out with my quote of the day. And my goal is to really try to impress you with my quotes. In a world where everyone is chasing attention, A man who chooses peace is one of the strongest people you'll ever meet.
I like that. That's cool.
Okay, I got to work on my quotes.
That was good.
Okay. Oh, okay. You just had a delayed response. Okay.
Oh, I think that was a good one.
I didn't think I had the bar raised enough. Jesus, you tough guy.
That was good.
Okay, cool. So everybody, don't I think I need to read that again? No,
Go
I'll leave
ahead.
it alone. In a world where everyone is chasing attention, a man who chooses peace is one of the strongest people you ever meet. Dope. Want to give a little note this weekend, April the 18th and 19th, Saturday and Sunday at the Bowie Town Center. We are holding our Bowie Food and Wine Festival. For 2 days, 12 o'clock to 6 p.m., we have over 200 vendors. We block off the whole streets of the Bowie Town Center. We have food vendors, wine tasting, and we have 24 acts, 12 each day, 2 stages. I'm on the main stage, MCing, coming with the Big Bob humor, and special treat, though. The last band on Sunday at 5 o'clock is our new band, I Am Your Daddy Band.
Are you in it?
Huh?
Are you in the band?
Yes, I'm on vocals, and check this out. I'm playing the xylophone. See, I know you didn't even know that about me. You thought you knew everything about me.
I knew you always had some musical talent, though.
You didn't know I had that. So come on out, y'all. It's free. Bring a lawn chair, sit out. It's R&B bands that we have. It's right up your alley. No, none of that crazy riffraff to come up. It's a great time for your families, for kids and adults. So come on out this April the 18th and 19th at the Bowie Town Center. And one last shameful plug. Dope, our band is playing at the prestigious Bethesda Theater on August the 14th at 8 o'clock. Come out and see us at Bethesda. Opening up for us is the funkiest band, Tommy Can, who's doing a Funkadelic and Parliament. And then we're coming behind them with the Caribbean Funk. I Am Your Daddy Band. With that, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful week. And yes, we will be next week. We'll be back here full and in living color. Have a wonderful day.